What's up, guys? What's up, Titan Nation? Everyone, get in here because the Tennessee Titans have officially taken the number one spot in the AFC South. I'm hyped. Hopefully, you guys are hyped. I started a little bit earlier because I was so excited. I wanted just to get on and start talking to all Titan Nation. Let everyone know where it's at, where to come for the post game. It's going to be a great show. Got some guests coming on as well. We're going to have Ken Moore come on. We're going to have Titans and Truth come on. So it's going to be a great show. Great Victor. Great Sunday. I mean, I didn't work today, and that felt good. Got to sleep in. Plus, the W. What's up? Okay, we got Hugo. What's up, Titan Hugo? What's up, man? Welcome to the show, man. What's up, Marvin? Everyone who's showing up. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys for coming on. Sin City Titan, what's up, guys? King Nat, let's go. Peyton, what's up? If I missed you guys, I'm sorry. Don't worry. Leave your comments. Don't worry. I'll get to them. And we'll obviously break down the game as well. Feels good. Should feel really, really good, especially about today. The beginning was a little shaky. With our defense, it was kind of going back and forth, but eventually the defense kind of sunk in and did their thing. But hell yeah, what's up, Ty Matt? Of course, yes. Kern being back is unbelievable, man. Can you believe like what a punter can do to a football game? It just shows what we need. But again, I'm a little bit early. I'm sorry. Guys, leave the comments. Let me know. Share this out. Give it a like. We're going to start this in a little bit. We're just going to, again, like I said, just really, really hyped about just the victory. I mean, now we're number one in the AFC South. We're number 3 in the whole AFC. So it's really looking good for the Titans. We were shaky at first, but then after that, we just took the reins. We took control of the game, and it was fantastic. Good to watch on both. It was good on offense and defense, special teams, all 4 phases, not 3 phases of the football, okay? Got offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. 4 phases of the football that we exceeded, and we got the dub. All right, guys? Albert. The revenge come very fast. I mean, some people say it was a revenge game. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it was a revenge game. If you think about it, where are the Colt fans? Hey, where are the Colt fans? Because usually they come in here. Hey, Colt fans, come in. If you know a Colt fan or anything like that, tell them. Send the link. Tell them to come over. And my next door neighbor is right now is starting to obviously, I don't know what the hell he's doing, but King Henry. And we'll talk. Actually, Zach, what's up, Zach? We're going to talk about the MVP. Jesus Christ. I'm going to have to turn off. I have to close my garage because apparently my next door neighbor wants to do the leaf blower right now at this time. So hold on because, of course. Woo. All right, back. All right, we got the game ball, man. The Tennessee Titans game ball. Who do you give it to? We'll talk about that. Who gets the game ball for the Tennessee Titans on offense or on defense? Which ones? And who would you prefer would get it? There's a couple people, obviously. King Henry went wild, as we see the Titans run by the Colts. But the defense, there was a couple of surprise people just showing up when they needed to show up. So it's really, really good. Again, guys, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely remember that I got some guests coming on, okay? There's always a guest. Usually I have my co-host, which is Gerald McGrath, former Tennessee Titans football player. He usually joins me for the post-game shows, but he was a little busy. So we might have a post-game number 2 later tonight with former Tennessee Titans player Gerald McGrath. So, guys, if you guys want to do that, stay tuned. He has a really good insight on his views, what he sees on the defense. Obviously, playing, for the Titans as a linebacker, he has some really, really good insights and stuff like that. And hey, thank you, Hugo, again. It's Titan Upload's a good friend of mine. Usually I come on his show, he comes on to mine. But again, any Tennessee Titans content, man, I'm here. If you guys don't know anything about my channel, most of you guys do. I do interviews with Titan players as well. As you see, I have a right there. Shit, my fucking thumb. There, I have Bernard Pollard. I had him on the show. I had obviously Gerald McRath. I have his jerseys. Had Dexter McCluster. So I do have former Tennessee Titan players that I do interview as well. So if you guys are interested in that, just check out my channel. I do have a separate channel too. I have two channels. I have one with just Tennessee Titans stuff, talk about football, talk about the Titans. If you want to look at the Titan caves, which is really, really cool. Have some Titan fans. They show us basically their own Titan cave, and there's some really, really cool ones. My buddy TK O'Cleary has one that's really, really badass. It's like a whole movie theater of Titan stuff, and he has signed memorabilia and all that good stuff. And then my second channel is called Cage Talk, and that I interview UFC fighters, MMA fighters. I have a bunch of them. So remember, guys, if you guys are interested in that, go check that out. I have a lot of fighters on. I usually have that. Cage Talk is usually oh yeah, Zach. That's true. Sorry. Not only the football players, I've interviewed Amy. I interviewed TD, Teron Davenport. I also had Jim Wyatt on my show as well. And if no one knows, Lance Smith, which I should be getting back, he contacted me and wants to do another show, which Lance Smith is a blast to have on the show as well. So do have a lot of guests coming on my show talking Titan football. If that's what you're interested, then here's the place to be, man. I don't go live that much, but when I do, I try to give a hell of a show, and I try to make it as interacting as most as possible. But I couldn't. Again, I went on a little bit early today because I just couldn't. I was just walking around my house. I couldn't. Like after that game, that was a statement game, guys. A statement game. And if you guys want to, you guys don't want to see my face, yes, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that, Isaac, isn't that great? Number one in the AFC South. Hell yes. And beating them in Lucas Oil, which is really, really hard. Even though we beat them last year, they're really hard to beat, especially at home. So, what's up, Titan Mafia? What's up? Exactly. Tighten up, man. It's a great time to be a Titans. I'm telling you, regardless if you're a bandwagon, if you don't like the Titans. I have friends that, subscribe to my channel just because they're showing support, but now they're actually following the Titans just because, So it's funny. My friends know more about the Titans now just because of me and just because of my show or just me talking and stuff. So cool things. Again, Tannehill played like a game manager. Yeah, Alex, you are correct, man. Hell yeah, Derrick Henry gave me a bunch of points. Yeah, especially for fantasy. Now, there is a couple things we're going to talk about. So obviously, the positive. We're going to talk about some negative, and we're going to get insights. All right. I mean, hey, that's cool. I mean, hey, I wouldn't want to be a Cowboys fan, but hey, if you like the Cowboys, it's cool. I mean, everyone has their own preference and stuff like that. But remember, guys, I'm going to have some people come on and give their insight. I do have a couple questions for the fans as well about just a couple of things that happened during the game and your take on it. Okay, guys? There's a couple positives, a lot of positive, just a couple negatives. There's always some negative. There's always stuff that we can clean up and stuff like that. And we'll definitely get into that in a bit. I do have my friend Ken Moore coming on, and I do have my friend Titans and Truth. All right. And Zach hit one on the mail. Yeah, we had some penalties and stuff like that. And did it seem like the offense kind of turned it off on the second? They played it safe, which I wish they didn't. They played it safe. We knew they were going to run the ball and this and that. But would you guys my question for you guys was like, would you guys wanted to have Derrick Henry get to 200, or you were fine with not having him run the second half or getting maybe less snaps? In my opinion, I wanted less snaps for Derrick Henry just because maybe in the fourth quarter, maybe not in the third, keep giving him the rock and stuff, but towards the fourth quarter and stuff, I mean, the game is out of reach and stuff, but I'm I'm telling you, man. Sorry, it's people catch me off guard. Hell yeah, I got a reason to smile. You understand? I'm gonna go into work tomorrow with a big ass grin on my face, and then I attack every Cowboy fan that has given me shit during the last week, because those are the best ones. Those are the ones that talk the most. Those Cowboy fans. So those are the ones I go directly to. I don't even say good morning or anything. I go straight to the jugular, get them, to start talking shit. But I'm not too much of a shit talker. But hey, trust me, half of the people that I know that I went to the Titans game week 10 against the Colts and witnessed me actually travel to Tennessee to watch them get killed on Thursday night, and then they gave me shit about it. Yeah, those are the people I'm going to go after. Why couldn't they just play that way the first time they played? I would have been happy. Don't get me wrong. I still loved going to Nissan Stadium and enjoying it with the Titan fans and just embracing and having that memory. But at the same time, I would definitely have liked to gone. God, we're Colt fan. Ooh, I'm telling you, Zach, everyone who's watching right now, if you have any Colt fans, copy the link and send it to them. Tell them to come over, because guess what? When we did the pregame show, I mean, there was a bunch of them out there. I mean, on the chat, just talking, and it would be nice to have to hear what they have to say. I had two of them to actually work with, so if they join the chat, we'll definitely get their opinion on the game. Titans Mafia says that they handed King Henry snaps count. They handled it correctly. I think so. I don't think it was too bad. When there's certain games that you need to give him more than less, I think his snap count was good. But towards the end, when it's the fourth quarter and stuff, I think everything should be all right. I think you still got Deontay Foreman, or is it Freeman or Foreman? I don't know. But that guy runs like a stud. You have McNichols, who runs like a stud. I mean, they do lose a little bit of a step or two because it's not Derrick Henry, but they still run pretty aggressively, and they were getting positive yards. They were never getting negative yards. So why not use them instead of Derrick Henry the whole time? It's just, again, I have no problem with that. But again, if Derrick Henry goes down in the fourth quarter when he have a 38-20 lead and he gets hurt for the rest of the year, then you question your calls and stuff like that. So I'd rather play it safe than sorry, especially towards the playoffs when it's going to be crunch time. It's going to be Derrick Henry who's going to be getting the rock for most of the time. Because that game, guys, let me tell you, that game right now was like playoff football right there for the Tennessee Titans. That's exactly how we're going to beat every single team. We're going to drag long possessions, hold the ball, drive it down your mouth, give Derrick Henry, let the clock roll, and then hopefully the defense can make a stand or two, which they did throughout the whole game. In the first two drives, there were kind of a couple hiccups. I was scratching my head. I was like, oh man, this game might be a shootout. But eventually they turned that corner and they got it going. So thank God for them. So let's see what's up, Sonny. My store manager is a huge Colt fan. Well, give him hell, man. Give him hell. King Eyes, I'm bullying. Exactly. Why not? I do Cowboys and I do Colt fans all the time. Margarita Lopez, how you doing? Defense woke up, kept the Colts in check. Thank God our offense played awesome. Yeah. For the most of the years, being a Titans fan, my light went off. Being a Titans fan, it's been the opposite, right? The defense used to show up, and the offense couldn't do anything. Was crummy. But now, I mean, it's working on both cylinders and stuff like that. I don't like the Colts. Me neither, Marvin. Me neither. All right. Like I said, we're gonna have a couple guests come in. AJ looked good today. I hope we bring Corey back. And that's another thing. Okay, so we're going to have Ken Moore. We're going to have Titans and Truth come in. So, guys, make sure to like, retweet. It's going to be a good time. We have my friend Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, coming in. So, guys, make way because the big man's in the house. Here you go, Chris. Oh, there he is.
What's going on?
What's happening, Chris? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. It's a little late in being prepared, but yeah, definitely glad to be here and definitely glad to celebrate this amazing victory, one that we definitely needed. So, of course, I gotta be prepared. I gotta have my gear on.
I know.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What a victory it was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Again, I was just going on a little rant because, again, I went on a little early just because I was just so hyped, man. I was just so hyped with everything that was going on. I was like walking around the house. I couldn't even sit still, and I was just like, shit, I got to go in at 45, but I'm like, it's 30 right now, and I just wanna go on and just talk. And that's what I basically did, and I let everyone know, man. And look, everyone's Titans Mafia says, Chris, what's happening, bro? You're getting a lot of love back. What's up, Blue Enforcer?
I am here.
Margarita Lopez says, what's up? I mean, they're here. You guys, hopefully you guys stay for long. It's going to be a good show. Again, I got Titans and Truth. We're going to have Ken Moore as well. We're going to break this victory down, man. Number 1 in the AFC South. How's that feel, Chris?
It feels amazing. We got full control of first place. We're in control of our own destiny. And all we got to do is finish strong. I think we're definitely going to win. We're definitely going to get to 10 wins. I think next week's game is going to be even bigger for playoff positioning. We're now up to 3rd. Because we have the tiebreaker. Now we have a tiebreaker over the Colts. We have a tiebreaker over the Buffalo now. So, we may be able to, maybe get closer to 2 if the Chiefs lose today. I got the Buccaneers winning this one. So, we'll definitely have to see about that.
Definitely. It's always, I'm telling you, Sunday is nice when there's football, but it's even better when there's a Titans win, especially the way we won, man. We dominated from the very beginning, man. I mean, the defense at first was shaky. I was nervous. How nervous were you? Because I thought it was going to be a shootout. And if it was going to be a shootout, I felt like the Titans weren't going to be able to keep up eventually down the line. That was just my opinion.
That was something I was nervous about too, because the way it was starting off, I'm just like, a shootout isn't exactly our bread and butter. It's not our cup of tea. That's not what we do. But once the defense kind of started making some stops, I'm thinking we got to get a 3-and-out at some point. Got to get them a 3-and-out, because if after that first punt we had to give up, I'm thinking, oh, dag, if the Colts go and score, now we're going to be playing from behind the whole game. But, they stopped us, then we stopped them, then we got ahead, and then you start to feel pretty good.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have the man, Ken Moore, in the house. What's up, Ken?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? What's happening?
Not much, man. Just happy about the victory.
Nice win today. Real nice victory today for the boys.
Absolutely.
Man. Real nice victory. I love the way that we made some adjustments defensively after those first couple of drives, started bringing the pressure. I'm sure you guys have probably already talked about it. But the defensive adjustments I love today in the defense coming up with some stops finally.
Yeah, finally. And we haven't really gotten into the game. I was just ranting on how bad I wanted to go on just to talk, and I wanted, if anyone knew any Colt fans, because last time I had a pregame, all these Colt fans started coming on the chat. So I told anyone that knows any Colt fans, I'm gonna tag them and send them on into the link. Come on, join it, because they were talking all this yapping, and you know what? That's one thing I hate is especially people who talk a lot of smack but don't know how to back it up. But this game was very Very surprising. But just letting you guys know, just in case, again, it happened last time all three of us was on, where I got stuck, frozen. You guys keep doing your thing. Don't worry, I'll eventually get back on it, right?
I'm gonna have a short stay today. I got Christmas tree duty in a little while, so.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta do some I gotta get grocery shopping duty. You know, the wife has allowed me to enjoy my new man cave.
There we go.
In peace.
There we go.
So I gotta do right by the lady, but you know, it always feels better to go grocery shopping after a victory.
Exactly. Exactly. Ooh. So starting the game off, Ken, what did you think just about that back and forth? Did you think we could sustain? You think we could win a game like that? Or were you a little bit more concerned? I know Titans and Truth told me he was concerned. I was kind of concerned on that just because us doing shootouts usually never ends up very well. What did you think on that?
Yeah, I was very concerned. Coming on the first couple of drives, you know, we went down and scored twice. They come back and score twice. So I'm like, man, the first team to blink is going to lose. And then we had to end up punting, but then our defense came up big. And I think the big turning point for us is when their left tackle, Costanza, went out of the ball game on that third drive. That really changed the entire complexion of the game because Vrabel and the defensive coordinators, they start sending a lot of pressure from the left side of their offensive line. So we were able to get the Rivers, force him into some bad throws and some bad decisions. But if Costanzo does not go out of the ball game, I'm not really sure how it plays out. It may be a back and forth, 45-42 game instead of, 45-26. So I was very concerned about our defense in the first quarter.
What did you think, Titans Truth?
I definitely agree. I mean, when they were already down their center, Ryan Kelly, and they were down Costanzo. And one thing that they were able to do, Harold Landry, even though he may have not gotten the sacks, he was getting to Phillip Rivers a lot. He was putting a lot of pressure on Phillip Rivers, and then of course Jeffrey Simmons finished off with one of the sacks. And I mean, we, defensively, I think we did some things good. And I kept thinking about this too. Breon Borders on the outside, even though there was that touchdown with T.Y. Hilton, that was more of a perfectly placed ball by Rivers more than anything. We've been concerned about the secondary. Breon Borders is way better than Jonathan Joseph or Ty Smith could ever be. I mean, and I thought I would never say that, but I mean, Breon Borders, he could be staying for a while. And I just thought he was very impressive. Got his interception. Should have had a pick six. And I honestly think
should have two.
Before he caught that ball, he's already in the end zone partying. He's already in the end zone and scored. So sometimes you got to catch it. You got to catch it with your hands instead of catching it with your eyes, see it, kind of thinking ahead. But I think that was great. And I mean, just bow down to the king. The Colts bent the knee.
Definitely. Borders had that almost like that next man up mentality. That's what Mike Vrabel looks for, right? He looks for someone to come off from the practice squad or from, the second string and make an impact automatically. And I do believe, like you said, I thought he thought touchdown before he had the ball. I mean, because it was right in the numbers, man. It was right in the
and there was no but green ahead. That's an easy pick six if he hauls that in.
Mm-hmm. But again, just exciting from everyone. And this is one thing I did on Ken, and I usually try not to tweet things, but I just couldn't. My fingers were typing already. The second quarter, when Corey Davis made that grab on the 1 yard line, that before I was like, re-sign him right now. Re-sign him right now. I don't care what you need to do. We need to re-sign Corey Davis because, man, he's been balling out. We don't pick up his fifth-year option. We give it to Adoree Jackson, which I like, but Adoree hasn't played a game, and this man has been balling out ever since. going through some tough times with the loss of his brother, and he's still showing up game in, game out, putting up numbers, and just being aggressive. And that's one thing I love an aggressive receiver. And damn, he's just been showing up, and I definitely think we need to re-sign him.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's a no-brainer at this point that you're going to have to bring Corey back. You still have AJ on a rookie contract for 2 more years, so you can afford to pay Corey Davis. Now, I don't want to give Corey Davis $20 million a year like a number one receiver, but if we can get him for $12, $13 million a year, maybe even $11 million a year, then you want to go ahead and reward this cat, because if we don't pay him, somebody else will. You always have the franchise tag in your back pocket, but the franchise tag is over $20 million for 1 year, and that's 100% against the cap. So you want to get, like a 3-year, $45 million deal, 3-year, $42 million deal, maybe with about $30 million guaranteed, similar to what you did with Derrick Henry. But he's a wide receiver, so they get paid more than a running back. But yeah, you got to do what you can to re-sign Corey. You cannot continue to let first-round picks walk out the door.
Definitely.
We did that with Jack Conklin. We're paying for it now with what's going on in the offensive line. And you're not going to find another Corey Davis in the 3rd or 4th round of the draft, because when you look at it now, our 1st and 2nd round probably is going to have to go on another offensive lineman or an outside linebacker or a rush guy. You're going to have to use that in the first 2 rounds because you have nobody at those positions. So now you're looking at 3rd, 4th round where you're looking at a wide receiver. And I don't know if this draft has that quality of depth like the 2020 draft had.
So you are more likely okay with, this is to both of you guys, of keeping Corey Davis and letting Jayon Brown walk, or someone else?
Oh, that is a very difficult question, because you got to kind of make a decision now. See, at first you're thinking it's a decision between Jayon Brown and Jonnu. Now Corey Davis has kind of inched himself into that conversation, has inched himself into that fight, and now you're wondering, gee, who do we let go? If David Long, who actually had a pretty decent game today, if he continues on his upward trajectory, then letting Jayon go may not be so bad. But at the same time, I don't know if you want to let Jonnu walk either. Even though you can't get a tight end in the 2nd and 3rd round and be just fine. But Davis is making it very difficult for us to let him walk. Simply, I think you might have to take your chances with Jayon being gone, because you have a better chance of finding another Jayon late than, say, finding another Corey or Jonnu late in the draft.
Yeah, I agree with that. Go ahead. Yeah, I agree with that completely. Again, just the first play itself, that pass to Derrick Henry, the blocking, Cam Batson and Corey Davis off the sides. That play doesn't happen unless you have a decent enough blocking run wide receivers, and that worked out perfect. And it just shows you how much skills, even if he's not catching the ball, it shows you what he can still do. And that's one thing Gerald McGrath always tells me. He's like, yeah, but you have to make sure that even though he's not catching the ball, he's still blocking. And that was one thing that worked out. So I agree with you completely about the whole, they could pick up a Jayon Brown somewhere else. It sucks that we probably would let him go, but I see Corey Davis, and I'm like, re-sign him right now. Just re-sign him.
Oh, totally.
So, and David Long did good, but we'll talk about defense, and obviously positive on defense, who stuck out, and obviously who stuck out on offense. But let's go into my person for defense was Monty Hooker, man. Man, he was balling out. I really like this kid. I like his aggressiveness. I like the way he plays. He's always in a good position. You never see him kind of out of a position and stuff. And don't get me wrong, Borders did good, and he should have had 2 picks, like you said. But at the same time, I feel like Armani Hooker showed up. I mean, last game against the Ravens was his first NFL start, and I think he did very well. And I like the kid down the stretch. So we'll go with Ken Moore on who'd you like for defenses today?
Man, I really thought the entire defense showed up. I thought Rashard Evans had a strong game today, really stopping the run. As you mentioned, Borders had a great game as well. Just thinking about it off the top of my head, Landry had a lot of pressures from the outside. I would say the defensive. I would say Vrabel and whoever was calling the defensive plays today. I really want to give them a shout out because I was really concerned going into this ball game that we were going to be a passive team, and the way Hines was running the football, and catching out of the backfield on those first 2 drives, I'm like, oh my God. I almost wish Jonathan Taylor was playing because, he's only going to run in between the tackles. But I just got to give a shout out to the entire defense. I think Monty Hooker had a good game. I think everybody had a good game today, I think, except Kevin Byard. Byard really struggled today for whatever reason. He did not have a good ball game, but I think the other 10, 12 guys on defense played well.
What about you, Chris?
I mean, I agree with that last statement with Kevin Byard. I don't know. I cannot figure out what's going on with Kevin Byard, why he has really struggled this season. I've gotten a lot of comments on Facebook where a lot of people are starting to kind of give up on the mayor of Murfreesboro a little bit, say, he's regressed and everything, which I don't understand what's up with the regression. But I would say on a good note, definitely, I mean, Breon Borders, I continue to be impressed with him. David Long, I think, came in even off of the COVID list, has done well. And Jeffrey Simmons just being Jeffrey Simmons. And I would say a surprise player that's kind of showing up a bit, maybe not a whole lot of stats, but definitely doing some work. Tierre Tart is earning a lot of trust. He's earning a lot of play and everything because, I mean, he looked like a big monster in there, making some plays. So Tierre Tart is coming along very nicely.
I agree.
He's making some plays when he gets the opportunity. He's definitely making some big plays. So you definitely want to see him get in there and get to the quarterback, which he did today. So you want to see those defensive guys, in the rotation, getting their opportunity. I didn't see a lot of Derek Roberson today. I know he was on the field, but I didn't see an impact from him today, so I was a little bit disappointed in that. But again, we had a lot of pressure coming from the other side of the offense, of the defensive line, so maybe they had a lot of concentration on that side. I even saw Malcolm Butler on a blitz a couple of times today. On a blitz, and I hadn't seen that. So you see what this defense can be when we play aggressively. You can't play passive, especially against good quarterbacks. And I hope we finally realize the Colts don't have real good wide receivers. You can challenge those guys, and you saw them put the ball on the turf a lot today. They were dropping a lot of passes today.
One thing that was pretty what the Titans do, like we say, we play a lot soft. We kind of play off on the wide receivers. We kind of let them because we're scared that we're going to get beat down the field. But with Phillip Rivers, I mean, he's only dinking and dunking. He's only throwing maybe 5-yard passes. He's not throwing anything past 20 yards. And when he does, he overthrows it. And look what happened to Borders. He picks them off. So why not play aggressive when you know that you can still play against the player or the ball? Now, like you were saying, Ken Moore, like why not do that? Why still kind of play that soft coverage, which I think they kind of during the second half, they kind of finally did that, but it's because they had to make Phillip Rivers had to beat them because they were down too much. You get what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, you have to forgive me. I was looking over. I'm looking at Kansas City. Tyreek Hill is putting on a show for Kansas City over Tampa Bay, and
Flip into the end zone to score.
flipped in. He did.
Damn.
He didn't completely land. He didn't completely land the backflip. I have to give him about a 7 on the backflip on that one. But I mean, it's Kansas City is a killing machine right now. So I'm very impressed. I had Tampa Bay because I was on Titans Tube with them last night, and I had the Tampa Bay as an upset special. Not looking too good for me right now, but
it might work out in our favor though. If you think about it, so that gives, because I think the Colts play the Steelers like the second to the last week of the schedule. So that might give the Steelers something to play for, So
Oh yeah, we want the Chiefs to keep winning.
Exactly. Yeah, we want the Chiefs to win. So I wouldn't be upset.
I agree.
So talking about the defense and stuff, people are saying, Titans Mafia says he's concerned about Byard. Do you think being a new father has affected Byard? What do you think is the problem with Kevin lately? Is it the position? Is it because of the lack of Dory Jackson and other players on the defense, or not getting pressure on the quarterback puts more pressure for Kevin Byard to, it's almost like a domino effect. You get what I'm saying? And it affects everyone. And I think that's what it is. I don't think that he's playing. He didn't have a good game. It's obvious. But what do you guys think the problem is?
I just think it's a lack of, I think, number one, without a true defensive coordinator to have everything put together correctly, that could be something with that. It does, and I hate to say this. I know, and I know I'm not a father yet myself, and I'm pretty sure children are nothing but a blessing. I definitely believe that. But it does seem like ever since Kevin Byard has become a pops, things have went downhill with his play on the field.
Man. I'm not gonna give him that. True, AJ.
I'm not gonna blast him for that. Completely.
You know what?
Ken
Moore has a point. AJ Brown just had a little girl, and he's balling out.
No, man.
All right, point well taken. Point well taken. I stand corrected.
Look, AJ hadn't secured the bag yet. Kevin's already secured the bag. So, Kevin may be out there making business decisions now. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay healthy. AJ hadn't secured the bag yet. He's still on that second round contract, so he hasn't got paid yet. So
he's going to get paid.
No, he will.
He's going to get paid.
But I do definitely think that it starts from the line of scrimmage. It starts with that defensive. There's no pass rush, so that puts more pressure on the linebackers. That puts pressures on the safeties. You get me? So it's a domino effect that happens, and I think people don't realize that, and they still think that's the reason why he's playing so poorly and stuff. It's not playing poorly. You're asking more than what his position is. And I think that's with everyone on defense, though. I think that's with everyone. They're asking a little bit more. Again, Jonathan Joseph or whatever it was his name, Jonathan Joseph, right? The one that we cut?
Yeah.
Again, he was in a bad position. Don't get me wrong. He got outed quicker than if Adoree was playing, because he was supposed to be the fourth corner. He wasn't supposed to be number 1 or number 2. So the fact of the injuries and the COVID and all that stuff, that comes into play. It boosts up his playing time, because I don't think, obviously, we weren't going to have a 38, 39-year-old playing a lot of snaps. And unfortunately, we had to, just because of the position we were in. So again, I think it's just the defense and the position we're in, and that's why Kevin's not having the greatest. But what do you think, Ken Moore?
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Kevin. Before I thought it was the defense that we were playing because he's playing 20 yards deep and he's not really involved in the plays because teams aren't going deep on us. Today was really the first time that teams really challenged us over the top. And I think that's because the Colts were so far behind that they had to, finally throw it up. But if you go back to the Pittsburgh game, the Cincinnati game, the Indy game a couple of weeks ago, all the throws are, 15, 10, 5-yard passes. So Kevin, he's usually more effective downfield where he's covering over the top. So I think today was really the first game, and maybe last week against Baltimore, where he was trying to cover the tight ends, and we saw number 80 today have a really good game in the first half. Yeah. Mark Andrews had a good game last week for the Ravens. So that's his primary job, is covering those bigger tight ends, and he's just been struggling with that the last couple of weeks.
So a good question Titan Mafia has. I don't know if you guys see my last, but what do you guys think about the Malcolm Butler interception that was overturned? If it's a rule, it's a rule. If that was in our favor and that happened to us and we were offense, I would have been okay with it. So, it's kind of hard for, especially a rule like that. The offense gets the better half of it. You're the one, it was good. Don't get me wrong. Mount Butler, was aggressive as hell, and I like that. He just a little too late. He was on the floor already. But if he was in the air and he was doing that, then it was definitely gone. But it's a rule, and I agree with the rule. So it is what it is.
Yeah, Tie goes to the runner, Tie goes to the offensive player.
Exactly.
As much as I would have rather it been our ball and first down going the other way, but like you said. I agree with that. The rule is a rule. Don't like it, but it is what it is. We were ahead, and we were in a good situation. Like the battle, though, but I just think it's because it's the rule.
Well, that's like almost like that rule when say the offense is running the ball and they almost get to the end zone, but they fumble it outside the end zone. It's a touchback, and the other team gets it. I don't agree with that rule. Absolutely not. I think that's stupid. That's dumb. But again, what are you going to do? It's a rule, and they're not going to change it. You just got to make sure you hold on to that ball before you cross the end zone.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
I'm going to bounce out for now. If you guys are still on in about half an hour, I'll pop back in and
definitely
on the conversation. But I'm going to bounce out for about 30, take care of these honeydews for a little bit. And if y'all are still going, I'll bounce back in.
Hey, do your thing, brother. Do your thing. You're always welcome, man. Thank you, Kenmore, for coming on, man.
Tighten up, fellas.
Tighten up.
Hey, by the way, before I go,
let's go.
I'll be doing my Titans the day after, tomorrow night, around 8 o'clock Central Time. So if you guys are available, you're more than welcome to join me. And then for you guys, you can find me at Kmore Sports on YouTube. So
there we go.
Hop over there tomorrow. Yes. We'll do Titans the day after, and we'll kind of break it down a little bit more. But I'll hop back in about 30 if you guys are still going.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kenmore.
All
right. Thanks, guys.
No problem.
All right. So going off, let's switch it like this. So what did you think about the defense, man? Did you like the defense, how it looked in the beginning and throughout? And now I'm going to read some stats right now, but what did you think of the defense?
Well, I'm going to say this. One thing that I was kind of shocked but impressed with, we got better on third down today. Yep. I believe at one point we were like, they were like maybe 2 of 8 on third down at one point. And I'm not sure how it was in the fourth quarter, but I know we held them. We did very well on third down defensively, which I thought was good because we needed something like that. But I'm like, my goodness. They showed up. They got aggressive. They got, frustrated Phillip Rivers some.
Yep.
Naeem Hines didn't run up and around and through them. And, even though we had the little touchdowns to Jacoby Brissett, and stuff like that. But I just think all in all, defensively, there were quite a few things that we did do well. And we're still improving. We still got to keep improving. And we just got to continue to step up.
I was worried, I won't lie, when they kept on switching to Jacoby Brissett, just because the Titans don't, handle a mobile quarterback as well. We had trouble with Phillip Rivers, but he's not a mobile quarterback. But that could cause a lot of problems. And they used him they used him very wisely. You know, for most of the time that he came in the game, it was usually a 3rd and 1 or something like that, and you knew what was going to happen. You know, he was going to tuck the ball and just run with it, but they had us guessing. But luckily, they didn't go through that throughout the whole entire game. That could have been a problem if it was close.
Yeah, I mean, there was some things that we.
All right, so he cut off, but we're going to continue. All right, here are the stats, guys. I'm going to read the stats for the game, all right? So here we go. So the Titans had 28 first downs. The Colts had 27. We were 5 for 12. They were 5 for 13 on third downs. Okay, guys? Total passing yards, we had 220. They had 280. Hold on. I think Chris has come back. All right. Chris is back, guys.
All right.
Chris is back.
Sorry about that. I pressed the wrong button for a second. It took me out. But I mean, I think defensively, there was things that we did well, some other things we got to fix. But I would just say I would take the third down improvement all day long because we struggled. We gave up. We were the worst third down defense in football, and this is not just this year, but it's like a historic number. But nice to see that number is going to go down just a little bit.
Definitely, and one of the keys to victory when I talked about the pregame was the time of possession. I know someone wants to know the time of possession. Listen to this, man. This is how you win a game. This is how the Titans win the game in 2020 with Derrick Henry running the ball. You had time of possession was 35 minutes. 35 minutes. They had it for 24. And that's how we're going to beat you. That's how we're going to drag this game on. We're just going to give Derrick Henry the rock and just keep going like that. Now, here's some of the stats before you headed out. I started reading the stats. We were 5 for 12 on third down, and they were 5 for 13. We were 1 for 1 for fourth downs. They were 1 for 2. Hold on. The light always goes off. Let me throw it up. Okay. Passing, we were 220. They were 280. We had 2 sacks. They only had 1 sack. Rushing, 229 to their 56.
Wow.
And yeah, that's turnovers. We had 1. Now the penalties is where we need to clean up because it was kind of high today, which is usually never. But then we had a new tight end in there. What's his name? He had a couple catches.
Swain.
He
had that. I know he had one that was an illegal shift. Yeah. There was an illegal shift penalty that he was coming off the line a little bit, and Corey had to come up a bit, and then they snapped the ball a little bit too quickly. And I want to say the other was it was a false start. Yeah, I want to say, but I mean, Jeff Swain made up for it, made some catches.
He did make some catches. Again, we had 9 total penalties, which is pretty high for such a disciplined Tennessee Titans.
Agreed.
That's something Mike Rabel likes to have, is just like clean up the penalties for 63 yards. So nine penalties for 63 yards. They had 6 penalties for 50 yards. We also had can we talk about I know it's still like kind of out of source, but about that onside kick return touchdown with AJ. Oh man, talking about putting a nail in the coffin. Oh man, that was sweet, man.
That was icing on the cake.
Oh.
That was, hey, it's a kickoff return. We'll take it.
It is. And you know what? It felt like that was the same thing with the whole remember with the pass from Khalif Raymond, like that nail on the coffin, like last year, like after that was almost like the same play. It was just like you can tell it was like it was done. Like nope, done.
Exactly. Right. I definitely agree with that. That was just that was the nail in the coffin, and I gotta give it up to Gostowski. I normally call him Suckstowski. I call him Suckstowski, but the thing about it is, he made his kicks. He made his kicks, and I loved the purposefully false start on Dennis Kelly.
You like that, right?
Because they know he's better from 49. He's better from 50, even though that was a 49, than he is inside of 50. So right there, they were like, can you back him up maybe one more yard or two or something like that? But he's made his kicks. Yeah. I get that to him.
So how about the offense? Who do you think on offense? I mean, our offense was clicking, man. It was so nice just to see that there's multiple, threats. There's, Corey Davis, even though Jonnu Smith didn't play that much today. And I believe he was more of a blocker than anything.
Yeah.
Just a bigger blocker. Because everyone's like, oh, what happened to Jonnu? Is he hurt? I don't think so. I think they just,
I think the game just dictated that. Oh my goodness. The Raiders, I was just looking at some scores. I mean, Raiders got killed by Atlanta today.
Yeah.
And I picked the Raiders. I'm like, dang, maybe my picks are not looking so good. I'm like, what's going on? But there were so many to choose from. There's so many to choose from. I mean, the Beast King is obvious.
Definitely.
I mean, very obvious. Corey Davis and AJ, they did their usual. I'm gonna have to give a shout out to the Hogs up front, to the offensive line.
Yes, sir.
Those guys did a great job. They took full. I mean, I saw some Colts fans talk about, y'all ain't beating us at full strength. I'm like, in a division game, I don't give a dag if you're at full strength or not. Our job is to win.
Yep.
We're not going to show mercy on you because you're not at full strength. No DeForest Buckner, no Nico Autry. Okay, that makes it a little bit easier for us. Yep. So I'm going to give a shout out to Quisenberry, because Quisenberry played a very good game at left tackle. Great story with him. Typhoid coming back was a big bonus. So shout out to the O-line.
So shout out to Titan Upload as well.
Yes.
And did say Colts fans make the excuses about Buckner being out. We had people on times. We were all banged up. Okay, we were all banged up. Taylor Lewan is gone. Roger Stafford. I mean, yeah, he played, but he was injured as well. I mean, you have a bunch of
Sombrello.
Yes, Sombrello. Our backup was hurt, so they can't go in the excuses saying that, because you know what? In the NFL, I mean, it's next man up, and unfortunately, It's going to be like that throughout the whole NFL, and especially with COVID now. Now you have COVID, so now you can't use that as an excuse. Saying, hey, it's whoever's on the team, and it's the coach's decision and stuff. So again, exactly what he said. Next to nobody in his full strength.
Think about this with special teams. That first game, you ain't hearing us talking about, we had a backup punter in there and all of that. We had a backup punter in there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not here. We can't make excuses.
We had a guy from FedEx, man. We got a guy from FedEx working FedEx, his regular season job was FedEx, and then he kicked a couple, then he left, and now he's back at FedEx. He was probably listening to the damn Tennessee Titans game while delivering packages. Well,
he's back on the practice squad, actually, so
oh, damn.
He still got a job. He's probably
doing part-time. Maybe he's doing part-time.
Maybe. I'm like, look, you work at FedEx and you get to play football. I'm like, can I be in your position? I work for FedEx. Can I be in your position?
Exactly.
So offensively, I think AJ, that 69-yard touchdown was, he's got more speed than you think.
He really does.
And like you said, Corey Davis, pay that man.
Got to.
Give him a little bit more money.
Yeah, he needs to. That would be a very, very big loss for the Tennessee Titans, just because, he's been showing up, man, when you need him. Like I said, there's nothing but greatness we can talk about Corey Davis. And in the beginning, to be honest with you, in the beginning of the season, I was kind of like on the fence. I didn't really know. Again, I don't like jumping into conclusions or putting my opinion out there just because. So I was kind of like on the fence. A lot of people are like, oh, no, Corey Davis this, Corey Davis that. I was kind of on the fence. Titan Upload loves him, and again, I respect his decision as well. But,
Yeah,
I mean, he's showing up this year. He's showing
I
up,
agree.
and you have to think about it. You know, they pick up Adoree Jackson, which I don't think will play this year. I don't.
Yeah, and that's another thing that I've been thinking about too. I'm like, at this point, Adoree's not doing any good being on the active roster. Taking a roster spot away from somebody.
Yep.
And I mean, if you're not going to play him, why in the world did you activate him? You might as well just shut him down for the rest of the season and just be done with that, or put him back on short-term IR, and give him more time. I don't know if it's against the rules to do that, but I mean, I don't expect Adoree Jackson to play at all this year. Christian Fulton's probably going to come back before he does.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but I mean, with Breon Borders, Malcolm Butler in there, I'm like, are we really missing Adoree that bad now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, as of right now, the thing with Titan fans and people in general is just say that we have a good game, we win, but then next week we come out flat, defense gets shredded, then they'll be calling for Adoree, they'll be like, oh, we need Adoree back. We need him back. We need him back. And it's not like that. I mean, it's back and forth, man. It's mixed matches and matchups, guys, okay? I mean, it was just a better matchup. Again, Mike Rabel did his homework. He did his homework. Yeah. He really did. And again, they played good on all 4 phases of the ball. Not 3, all 4 phases. Coaching, offense, defense, special teams. You get that, we're unstoppable. 100%.
Yeah, and next week we're going to have to continue that because, I mean, if, this game against the Cleveland Browns, I mean, again, there is a possibility this could get flexed to Sunday night, even though next week is Broncos Chiefs. I mean, but I can see where it does get flexed. However, this Browns team, you better not take them lightly. You can't. We don't. I say it all the time. We don't have the right to take anybody lightly. We don't have the right to say that any game is a guaranteed win. So this game next week, we got a 2-headed monster running back with Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
This is a very important game for positioning.
Definitely.
It's going to be a big deal.
Definitely. I agree with that completely. We have 42 Tribes has a question. Is Jackson holding out, or does he have a lingering injury? We don't know. I don't know. We don't know.
We don't know.
And that's the worst part. And Mike Rabel will keep that close to chest.
He would take it to his grave.
Yep. So it's kind of hard to say, hey, was this, Adoree Jackson doing this, or is this Mike Rabel, or is it a little bit of both? We don't know, unfortunately. But as of right now, I think why he was on the active rosters because they didn't want to lose him. I just don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, unfortunately.
And that's an excellent point because, I mean, let's think about this. I mean, the fact that this is going on, we all know, and for some of you that don't, Mike Vrabel is one of the most cautious coaches ever that I've known of. And one thing about it is he's not going to put you in the game unless he knows for a fact you are ready and are able to contribute. And, we've seen that a few times before that that even though Adam Humphries practiced fully on Wednesday, we're thinking, oh, okay, Adam Humphries is going to come back. Michael Pruitt practiced fully a couple of days, then was limited on Friday, and, he doesn't go. Yep. So Vrabel is going to be very, very cautious. If he doesn't think you're ready, he's not going to put you out there unless he knows for a fact you are 100% ready to contribute it for this team. And that's something that I think could be to his detriment, but I do understand why he's doing that.
Exactly. He says he's trying to make the best, like he always says, I'm trying to make the best decision to win football games. That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Regardless if you're the star player or not, it's if you can help, then he's definitely going to put you. But if you can't and you're hurt or you're lingering injury, then it's pointless. We have how long are we missing Clowney for, and is he going to help us when he comes back? He should be back. It said 3 weeks, right? And that was what?
He's on the short-term IR.
Yeah. So, and he would help us. Again, a lot of people want him to have sacks, but that's not Clowney's forte. That's not his go-to. His go-to is to put pressure, and he does. He just doesn't finish, but he does put pressure. Definitely. So.
He does. He definitely puts a lot more pressure than Beasley ever did.
Oh God.
And now of course Beasley is on the Raiders active roster, I want to say. Now.
I know the Raiders picked him up, but I didn't know if he was on the active roster.
I can't remember if he's on the active roster or on the practice squad, but I know he's with the Raiders now. They can have him. They can have him. So why are we talking about Vic Beasley? I don't know why I even brought him up. But I mean,
Sean wants to know, did we get King for his success against the Chiefs and Steelers last year? Honestly speaking, I think we got him for his mobility and just his athletic, just being athletic. Again,
I agree.
Mike Rabel and what's his name? Like players who can do multiple things, not just one. And he can, he does good on punt returns and also, playing defense. So I think that's the reason why we picked him up. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah. I definitely agree because I mean he can play corner. He can play corner. If we got to play safety, he could play safety. He will definitely help on special teams. We could probably put him back there at punt return at some point. So I just think versatility is a lot for Desmond King, and I mean he's a major upgrade over Jonathan Joseph. With what happened with Jonathan Joseph, we needed something better, and we got it with him, and he made an impact right away. So, I like the Desmond King pickup.
So we have Eric asking us, what about Isaiah Wilson? Again, we're very we're lacking in offensive linemen, right? We're getting hurt constantly. And like you said, Ty Sombrillo is out for the year. People thought this would be the chance for Panda to show up, our first round pick. I don't think he's mentally in shape or ready to go and play football. That's just my opinion.
And before I do mention this, just saw some breaking news come across my ESPN app. The Jags have fired their GM, Dave Caldwell.
Really?
They have fired Dave Caldwell. This coming from Adam Schefter. This just came across my ESPN app. Like it came down as we were doing it. So that is legit breaking news. Jags have fired their GM.
That's Jacksonville doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
No, they do not.
They have like almost the same mentality as Isaiah Wilson. They don't know that. I mean, again, Isaiah Wilson, I just don't think he's ready. If not,
I agree, and that's what I want to put out to everybody.
Yep.
No disrespect to anybody. Please stop asking about Isaiah Wilson. Stop asking about him. He is not going to contribute this season. He is not going to contribute. No disrespect to anybody, but get that through your head. Yeah. Don't expect Isaiah Wilson to do anything this season. He is not ready. Yeah. He is not ready.
Yeah.
They should have just gave him a red shirt year. I do agree with that. Like Sin City is saying, he's not ready. He's not ready mentally. I agree with you on that. Probably not ready physically either. But, he needs – this is like training camp for him right now. He's got to learn.
Yep.
He's immature. He's young. So,
because if you think about it, man, this would be the time that you would see him come up. Just because they went and they ended up getting the offensive lineman from the Raiders, right?
Yep.
If we were so set on Isaiah Wilson coming in, we would have never done that. But
I agree. I mean, in all honesty, if Isaiah Wilson was any good and was ready, they would have moved Dennis Kelly to left tackle, and he would be starting at right tackle instead of Ty Sambrailo.
Yep.
Sambrailo wouldn't even been playing and would be available now if we needed him.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I mean, think about this. The fact that we are on our third left tackle and it is not Isaiah Wilson, that's all telling right there.
Yep.
That tells you something right there. He is not ready. And oh my goodness, this game is just getting the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes thrown for 300 yards in the first half already. I'm like, somebody stop this guy. I'm like, this is crazy. This is insane. Tyreek Hill had 200 yards receiving in the first quarter of a game.
Wow.
And it's just, and I'm sorry, y'all, I know we're this is Titan-centric. I love it. It's just the fact I'm watching it as it happens. So I'm seeing all this as it's going on. Gotta bring it to you, but I'm just, dang.
So Rob wants to know, do you like the way Desmond King looks? He has moments. Where it looks really good. I think there's a couple plays that he got beat. There was a couple tackles today that he could have made, and he kind of had his. But again, that's the National Football League. You know, as of right now, he's just going to get better and better just because of especially the position he plays. Right. He needs to communicate. He needs to trust his players and stuff. So again, it's a little bit harder, especially coming into the middle of the season like that. But again,
I agree. And
I think so far I'm not too bad. He's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not really gonna give any ill will to Desmond King because he's played well. Especially coming from somebody who, when we traded for him in the middle of the year, which is something that J-Rob rarely does, and with the COVID testing and all that, he couldn't even join the team until the Saturday before the game. So right now, he's still trying to catch up and things like that. So it's taking some time for him to get together. But I think Desmond is going to continue to get better as time goes on and get more continuity with this team. And I think next year he'll be even better. I think he'll return. So I definitely I think the defense is starting to head in a little bit better direction than we were before, but we still got to make some improvements. But I'm probably going to hop off of here in a bit myself. But Titans winning, sole possession of first place.
You know it.
I think this is beautiful. We're in great position. We'll probably I'm going to try to do a post game later tonight. If not, definitely tomorrow. So be tuned for that for TNT post game.
Exactly.
Alex, Mr. Titan, appreciate you, my guy.
Hey.
Tighten up, y'all. I'll holler at you.
Definitely, man. Have a good one, bro. Tighten up.
Tighten up.
So, guys, back to talking, right? Now it's just me and you guys, the Titan fans. Again, great win, guys. Great win. Like, we got a couple people. Our Titans killed it today. Absolutely. Yes, we did. So we have a couple questions right now. We have Titans Mafia saying the Lions fired Pat Patricia. Do you guys think Rabel makes a call and brings him in? The Patriots had the number one defense when he was DC. This is close, man. This is really close because, again, it's that you think about it. He's a Patriot guy, right? They like to keep it. John Robinson, Mike Rabel they have that inner circle of Patriot people. I saw Wade Phillips. He's open. Would you pick, who would you want? Wade Phillips? Or would you want the guy from the Lions? I wouldn't mind anyone. As of right now, I just think that Mike Rabel needs to stop calling defensive coordinator position. I think he needs to hand that down. Just focus on being a head coach. Maybe it's a little bit too much for him. I don't know. I wouldn't mind it, especially like Sin City Titans said that we played the Lions in 3 weeks. It would be perfect getting their head coach as if we know all their ins and outs. Especially Matthew Stafford, man. You can't overlook him, regardless of the record. He can still sling the ball. We have, all right. All I have to say, first place. Do I have to say no more? We need to start Bartles a lot more. Again, he's working his way up. I agree. He had a very nice game. Starting him, not yet. Not yet. Because there's a couple of spots where Ty beat him and stuff. But again, that ball was placed perfect by Phillip Rivers, that last touchdown. But again, it's T.Y. Hilton, right? That was a hell of a play. That was a hell of a catch. So, Two-Tone Zone says, love the show. Thank me. I appreciate it. Again, if you guys haven't hit the like or you haven't subscribed, please do. I try to do post games, previews, all that good stuff. I do have 2 channels on YouTube. I have this, which is just all Titan stuff. And then I do have Cage Talk, which is just basically me interviewing a bunch of MMA fighters. Every Thursday, I have a new MMA fighter. And that's actually pretty fun. And I just started that channel again. I did have it on Mr. Titan, but now I switched it to Cage Talk by itself. I'll leave a link below so you guys can check it out. Remember, I do one-on-one, Mr. Titan one-on-one. So I do have interviews with Dexter McCluster, Bernard Poller. I do have my co-host, Gerald McGrath, who's a former Tennessee Titans player. Do shows with him as well. I have another person coming in. He's a big man. We'll have him one-on-one with me eventually later on down the line. We still have to set it up, but big news. It's a former Titans player as well. So it's going to be good. Very excited about talking to that player and just knowing about his career. Hey, you were on Tighten Up. Yeah. What's up, Jackson? What's up, buddy? Tighten up. Exactly. Tighten up, guys. Let's see. The real question is, do you think we consider Kenny Stills? What? You know what? We saw that going in. We play Houston one time, right? The last game of the season, we play him. Kenny Stills wasn't bad. Last year, he scored 2 touchdowns on us just because, they were all fixed on Hopkins and Fuller. So do we consider it? Depends. We could put him on the practice squad. Just saying, because listen up. Injuries is a big thing, guys, okay? And especially this Titans team, we're gonna go to the playoffs, right? So the fact that this is an injury-prone team, we've been hurt. Adam Humphrey hasn't been back. AJ is still battling that knee injury, even though he's performing. You never know down the line what happens. I'd rather have more wide receivers than go to the playoffs short-handed. So, I would consider checking him out. Why not? The more the merrier, So, definitely would check him out. Big win with the Titans, of course. Oh, Sunny says we're going 12-4. I said we were going 10-6. That was my prediction. I said the worst we can go is 9-7, unfortunately. But I think 12-4 is a possibility. I remember we play the Browns, we play the Jags again, we play Houston again, we play the Lions. So and we play the Packers. So it could happen like that, but I don't know. We have to see. Hopefully, if this team shows up, we just got to improve. Every game, improve, and get better, and we should be all right. So my question to you guys, all right, everyone who's watching, would want Derrick Henry to get 200 yards? Were you guys pushing for that? Were you guys okay if they actually didn't play Derrick Henry at all in the fourth quarter and kind of ride it? In my opinion, I think it would have been okay. I would have liked it a little bit better if we just held them didn't let him play the fourth quarter just because we had McNichols, we have Foreman, we have other running backs that could still they were decent, they were still picking up yards and stuff, and they were never getting negative yards. They're always getting positive yards. So the fact you don't want to burn Derrick Henry out, and he had a hell of a game, don't get me wrong, but you want to kind of preserve Derrick Henry for the playoffs, because that's exactly what's going to happen in the playoffs. We're going to give him so many carries and stuff. And what would have happened if in the fourth quarter we're up, 38-20 or something, and then he gets a leg injury or a knee injury? Then what happens? That whole offense changes right there. Our whole the way our offense is run is through Derrick Henry and the play action. That play action doesn't work anymore because no one stacks the box because they're not afraid of McNichols. Not that they're not afraid, it's just he's not a Derrick Henry, so that play action doesn't work. Maybe we should have had a little bit more play action today just because the run was doing so well. But then at the same time, just keep feeding the damn ball just because, it looked good. All right, let's see. Everyone says Derrick was fine, so I'm wrong. You guys are right. Thank you, Titans Mafia. Derrick was fine. Sonny says I'm fine with what they did. Keep him healthy. We have a good backfield without Derrick Henry, and yeah, I agree. Let's Tighten Up podcast says wanted him to break the single game record, but once the Colts stopped him a couple times to start the third, I was fine with resting. Yeah. Resting, man. If Henry gets hurt, we can kiss the playoffs goodbye. I agree. Had a scare with AJ on the play in the half, so rest yards. We have to win. Yeah. I agree, guys. Again, resting is very important. That's what we did last year against the Saints game. We didn't have to win at the same time, so it was good for us. But I definitely think that the Titans, are in good shape. We're 8-3, guys. 8-3 on top of the AFC South. I love it. I'm surprised that there's no Colt fans because when I did the pregame, like I said, everyone, there was like 3 or 4 different Colt fans, messaging, there's none. It's quiet. And it's really, really good. And again, defense is only going to get better if Adoree gets to play. I think the defense is coming together. My buddy, co-host Gerald McGrath said it himself. The way defenses get better is by practicing. Practice. The fact that we couldn't practice for about 2.5 weeks because of the COVID and all that stuff plays a big toll. Plays a big toll on the Titans. Now, Let's Tighten Up podcast says we need to collab as well when I get more settled and subscribers. Hey, man, it doesn't matter about the subscribers. I really can care less about the subs. Once you get settled, hell yeah, we can definitely do something. But subscribers don't really mean anything to me, man. Regardless if you have 3 subscribers or 4 or 10 to 1,000, I'll still go on your show. We'll talk. Titans fan. If you're a Titans fan, I'm a Titans fan. That's all that matters, man. So again, just get settled, and then we'll definitely collab, man. I have no problem with that. Always like talking to people. That's why I did this channel, guys. Just to talk to real Titan fans who love the Tennessee Titans as much as I do, share the love, and especially when it's game day and there's no one in my house that likes the Titans, I get to celebrate on this computer. I love how pissed off Colts fans were watching Derrick Henry run. You know why? Because they couldn't stop him. It sucks. That's like the crappiest way. It's just like it's coming, but you can't do nothing about it. You can stock stock the box, put as many players as you want. He still will go right through them. Colt fans are butthurt now. They're gonna be like that. It's fine. So we got Jeffrey Ramos says, Tighten Up, give me a shout out and I'll fly you out to the next game. Okay. Big boss right here, and we're in the middle of a pandemic. You're gonna fly me out, man. I don't know. Shout out to Jeff. Again, guys, what'd you guys think, man? What'd you guys think? What was the positive in this game? I think the positive from this game was just the fact that the defense held its own. They can actually stop people on third down. Well, definitely going through the offense is clicking. Yeah, defense it's working its way back into the sync. Yeah, we're shaky in the beginning for defense. Offense looked really good. We're shooting all sorts of cylinders. Running the ball was very good, very effective. Throwing the ball was also working for us, as well as play action. The only thing is we do need to sharpen up on third down. It worked a little bit better today. Like I said, I read the stats, but we still need to clean up more because there's going to be better teams that we're going to face in the playoffs. The positive from this game was that Grant. Actually, this might be I might leave this up for a little bit because that's funny. Grant Riley says the positive from this game was Buckner, which is true, and that's the excuse they'll use. You know, some of the Colt fans that I work with and stuff, they'll probably say that. But guess what, guys? We were out without Taylor Lewan, Ty Sembrano. I mean, there was a bunch of people out. You know, Adam Humphries, Michael Pruitt. There was a bunch of people that were out, and you know what? The wake up call. Thank you for kind of putting that out there. Let's talk about this. Special teams. That's where I'm going to go with the positive. You're right. Special teams was better today, especially with Kernback. It's crazy how much of one player can change the whole dynamic of a game. And I believe that's the most positive is that Brett Kern came back and he was on point. He punted like 3 or 4 times. But again, the positioning on the football field is very important. It's key in a football game. One of the plays that we kicked it within the 10-yard line, they got a penalty, and then they went 3 and out, and they had to punt it. Gave us good position, and I think it was right before halftime, to be honest with you. I mean, if he kicked that out of bounds or he kicked it, I mean, a 17-yard punt, I mean, field position's crucial. It's very paramount in football. And with having Brett Kern back in, I mean, it's crazy how much of a difference the Titans looked, especially special teams. Sonny says our defense gets a lot better and healthier because we get into the playoffs and face the Chiefs. We need to stop Hill and Mahomes. I mean, we'll worry about that once we get there and stuff. I mean, there's still a lot left in the season, but I do feel good about this win. We're 8-3, guys. We're 8-3, and it's looking good. It's looking really, really good for the Titans. It was a statement win, especially today. I want to thank everyone who showed up on the stream to talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, if you guys haven't, please subscribe to my channel. Go like it. Give it a thumbs up. Retweet it. Let everyone know. I will do a pregame show as well. We play again. I think we play the Browns. It might be a Sunday night football game. We don't know. We'll find out eventually. Just remember that I have 2 channels now, okay? If you guys like Cage Talk, you guys like UFC, like MMA, go check out Cage Talk with Alex on my channel. I'm in my other channel. Subscribe, like, share, do what you got to do. If you need to, on Apple Podcasts, I'm on there. I'm on Spotify as well. Just put Mr. Titan. Just remember, guys, you can find me on podcasts. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, whatever you guys like. I'm everywhere, okay? If you guys haven't followed me, I'm on Twitter as well, Mr._Titan5. Please follow me. I love talking to Titan fans. Love talking in general about Titan football. So, again, thank you guys so much. Your Tennessee Titans are the number 1 in the AFC South. Remember that, guys. Number 1 in the AFC South, okay, with a nice, great statement win against the Colts. 45-26, guys. All right. Remember to hit that like button. And thank you guys so much for joining. Always tighten up, guys. And we'll see you again next week. Peace.